Plus Day to everyone but Star Wars fans, apparently, because they really got left out of this party. Yes, the only real announcement was the Obi Wan Kenobi behind-the-scenes reel, which leaked yesterday, and now we can discuss it, by the way, in just a moment. But I do think it's ridiculous that they didn't tease Andor, which has shot a substantial amount of footage and comes out at the end of 2022. And they should have saved the Boba Fett teaser for today, even though it was underwhelming. At least it would have, but at least they should have name-checked it. They did so much name-checking over at Marvel, just throwing out logos. Why didn't they throw out a bunch of Star Wars logos, right? That's so weird. Not even a shout-out to Bad Batch Season 2 or Ahsoka. And Mando Season 3 is filming right now. Not even a logo for that? I hear Grogu's back in the mix despite the Season 2 finale. And Bo-Katan has a huge role in that upcoming season. So they could have given us like a few teases. I think just a little something, right? All right, so let's talk about Obi-Wan. And who doesn't love to see Ewan McGregor smile? His enthusiasm for Star Wars and this role is truly wonderful. Even after all the bad things people said about the prequels for so long. I mean, everyone loves them now, thanks to Dave Filoni. But, there was a lot of hate there. So you just can't put out Obi-Wan's fire. I love it. Nice to see Mando director Deborah Chow here as well, taking the lead on this show. And she did a fabulous job, one of our favorite directors on Mando. The big headline, of course, from yesterday, but we'll talk about it today because now it's official, is that McGregor promises another Kenobi-Vader showdown. Oh, apparently they like to fight always in fire. But anyway, this is a relationship that has so much more depth now thanks to the Dave Filoni animated shows. And on that note, I want to thank everybody for turning me on to those shows. I haven't even watched the original Clone Wars series. I watched, the end of the final season on Disney Plus, and I'm watching the Bad Batch. But there's a lot of history there, which I think, I think it's hard to watch the new Star Wars live action shows because they're so much based on what Filoni did without at least knowing what Filoni did. I mean, if you have the time, you should watch it. But I think they're really going to dive into that here, which will be fantastic for the fans of those series. But I think they'll still make it accessible for people who haven't, because while the Star Wars animated shows are popular, they're nowhere near as popular as the live action shows have been, as Mando has been. And we see Hayden Christensen practicing fight choreography. He looks very cool. But Christensen, outside of his physicality, so he looks like he's got that down, but Christensen has never been a very strong actor. I'm sorry, I know a lot of you are Hayden Christensen stans. You're like, he's never gotten a chance to prove himself. Well, he's getting it now, boy. He's also going to be in the Ahsoka show because he's Vadering it up everywhere. But can he emote? Is he a strong enough actor to emote through the Vader costume? Or will he get a little help by being allowed to remove his helmet now and then? Removing the helmet. Here's Vader on the phone, by the way. Maybe some time on when he has downtime, he takes the helmet off. And maybe some flashbacks. I think we'd all really love to see some flashbacks. Some live action stuff of, before Anakin turned into Darth Vader. I think that would be really fantastic. The concept art, speaking of fantastic, looks fantastic. We see what looks like a Rebel base and a Blade Runner crossover, right? Plus a reminder that the Jedi are not safe and that there are Jedi hunters. Oh, I'm excited for that. I'm also excited to see one of them try to capture Obi Wan Kenobi. That's going to be fantastic. And McGregor says that this is a tough time for Kenobi, I can imagine, who has one task left to keep him focused, and that's to keep Luke safe. I guess Leia's just fine. They gave her to a royal family, so she's okay. They cast both a young Luke and Leia. And will we see a young Ahsoka show up? Vader's going to show up, Hayden Christensen over on the Ahsoka show. Of course, these take place substantial time periods apart. So I'll be interested to see how they do that. I guess maybe flashbacks, maybe Hayden Christensen wouldn't unmask. That's very interesting. What rate does Ahsoka age? I'm very curious how they're going to handle this, because these characters, the characters themselves and their relationships cover a huge span of time in the Star Wars timeline. But you can't have Obi-Wan and Anakin really without Ahsoka in the mix. And how about the clones? Again, so much of this is building on the Filoni animated series. And he already has proven that he loves bringing this stuff over to live action. So we'll see what happens here. But I'd be cool just watching this for a few hours. And this series is going to be amazing. We have known for a very long time that this is a slam dunk, can't fail. And I'm glad it's finally happening. All right, what do you think of the Obi Wan first look? What do you think of the way Star Wars got the short end of the stick on Disney Plus Day? And what are you looking forward to with the show? And do you think Hayden Christensen can pull off Darth Vader? I think he could do a very good Anakin with better writing. And, I mean, with all due respect to George Lucas, he didn't do a good job writing and directing the prequels. But can Hayden Christensen do Vader? And also, who's going to do Vader's voice? Wouldn't it be James Earl Jones? Then what's Hayden Christensen really doing? Doesn't he just then become a stunt double? This is going to be interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Share those thoughts down below. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.